Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Resistance. We're going to go over some ASX macro stuff that's been happening the last couple of weeks, because that's all I've been doing is just macro stuff, just letting my swings swing, and my day trades, well, they can just fail me and commissions can be paid to the broker. So it's not really that kind of environment for me to day trade, so I've kind of really heavily tapered back. I might take one a day, two a day, peanuts. And the outcome is peanuts as well, mind you. Small losses, small wins, barely worth talking about. But that's going to change because we have earnings season coming up. It started today with CAR, and I've turned my bot back on, which this is the bot from last financial year. And basically it was just going over all the reports, comparing current to previous financial year or half year, the change and the outlook. So if you're not interested in reading the full document, then I don't want to read 30 or 40 a day. So what I'll do is just get the bot to spit out this information automatically as it comes out. So within 30 seconds of the announcement coming out, it will spit out this comparison table here. And this is an example for today on CAR. This wasn't real time. I sort of just tested the bot and manually executed a test today. So this is what it would spit out in real time, and it should work from tomorrow morning. So looking forward to that, because I really hated earnings season because I just got so sick of opening every announcement. So here it is. I just have to scroll, look for key information, key revenue, how big the change is. I can really just flick through this really quickly and just scroll and see, okay, what are the change? Oh, we've got 100% change. What's the ticker? MSG. I might even include the market cap for the stock, just so I know, like if this is a $5 million company or something, it's like, well, 100% change on revenue. Yeah, it's not going to do much. So, going from 63K to from $500,000 loss to 63K, it's not really, I don't care. So, it's really interesting when you see a stock like SGR, for example, a bigger company has got a negative 10% in revenue. You can see the EBITDA change and all that sort of stuff. So all the sort of key important metrics that are produced are spat out automatically. So I'm really keen on using this again to just simplify my life and everyone else's. It's in the earnings channel. You're welcome to join Discord and use it for yourself. So all we have is this macro trade. So we got lithium, for example, broke out on Tuesday last week, and it's just pumping to the upside. And we got copper, which I've been talking about in my last video. So COPX, gap, rally, and looking really strong in our pre-market at the moment. Jesus. So HT1 is spot price, looking healthy today, recovering from the sell-off from yesterday, which is fine. It's still trading right at highs. We're only down a little bit from the highs. What's that? 3.5% from the all-time highs, basically. We got lithium spot going sideways. So this is interesting. We have spot going sideways. Still in kind of this downwards channel, but it is consolidating here at the lows. And that's interesting because lithium is bouncing at the moment. So it wouldn't surprise me if it did halt at this sort of $75, $76 level, maybe as high as $77, $78, something like that. Depending on what spot does. If spot starts tanking, that should reverse this back to a downswing. This is a very short-term trade for me. We got iron ore. I'm still interested in this short on Fortescue, which hasn't actually gone that far. This is the only trade that I've got that really isn't performing on my swing trade. We're still basically break even, so $18 on this short. Didn't close it out. I didn't feel a need to because, well, spot iron ore is not looking great. We can zoom out. It's holding that 700 level that I was talking about in my last video, so it's still kind of grinding. And you can just see this is a long consolidation into a breakdown. So there's no reason for me to just panic. I probably should have added on at 1850. That's a nice, half round number. Of course, it bounces to 1850. Perfect little hit and then comes off. And there's this little range break here that comes back to retest. It's all very technically sound, very technically beautiful to look at. So this 17 target, 1650 as well is looking good in the short term. Whether it sells off further is TBA. And yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Commodities looking all good. Gold, I haven't actually traded any gold. We'll just take a real brief look, and wow, that looks healthy. Silver looks healthy, and US oil is coming off and doing a little bit of a bounce. But God, how perfect was that bounce as well at 67? I can't get over how perfect that technical bounce was, and that's exactly where the war started again. So I always find that like super coincidental that it lines up so perfectly with the technicals. And then we have, what else? ASX 200 is grinding along nicely. And yeah, it's all looking really dandy. It's all looking uphill at the moment. That can shift, but at the moment, yeah, it is earnings season. The anticipation, the expectation from myself and from, you know, things that I've read from analysts and stuff is that the expectation is that there will be probably more losses than usual. So more red days on earnings, or red trading days for companies than usual. Things are kind of trading at elevated levels. There's sort of, you know, market hesitancy and stuff like that. So I'm not going to go in with that bias, but maybe it's just worth keeping in mind that gap ups could get punished, depending on, of course, how well it's performed in the last 12 months or last 6 months relative to the actual earnings report itself. So if you guys want to learn how to read financial documentation and stuff, it's all in the course. It's all in the video comment description. So you're welcome to check that out. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully going to be a little bit more active as we have earnings coming out this week. It's mostly banks and stuff for this week, so probably not that exciting this week. You know, I tried trading WBC, which did mention that they're going to have, or they're expecting, what was it? About 50% reduction in home loan applications over the next 2 years because of what the federal budget has done basically to the market. So it's looking rough for banks. And yeah, I only traded WBC today short, and CBA as well. I didn't trade that, but I'm just going to take a look at CBA real briefly. That should come off. I think the expectations are going to be the same, right? I imagine all the other banks will have that same negative outlook. And we have, when's the earnings for this one? God, I might even take some put options. If this recovers in the next day or two, I might take some puts. There's a trade idea, by the way. That federal budget should absolutely put a dampener. And I wonder if this was budget day. Was that budget day? May. Wow, that is an opportunity and a half. I didn't even consider looking at bank stocks on budget day or after budget day. That is fascinating. That full gap down and recovery is just begging to be punished. I like this idea. I really do. I really do. If we have some green days, which will make the premiums better for puts, I will absolutely be buying like 170 puts, maybe 166, 168. Something like real short term, mind you, maybe 1 week expiry. Wow, that is interesting. That is super interesting. I just got this like light bulb moment in my head. Interesting. All right, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.